Hi, food friends. Veshwego Hallelujah. Or Happy Easter. It's Kevin.
And Marianne.
And here we are, and it is the day before. It's actually Good Friday evening, and we are starting to get ready now for our big weekend, Easter. One thing that we're making that's on the menu, come on in here a little bit, Marianne, get a shot of this, is all this is going to come together to make Polish meatballs, okay? So we got ham, we got kielbasa, and we're going to have Polish meatballs. And the thing about Polish meatballs is it is a 2-day process. So here we are, day 1. We'll come back tomorrow on Holy Saturday and finish the job. But basically, what we're going to do is we're just going to get our meat mixture ready, and we put all the ingredients in, and then we put it in the back in the refrigerator so that all these flavors can blend for at least a day. It makes a huge difference. It really does. So, again, we talk about having a friend who's a butcher and knowing who your butcher is. So what we've got here is we got 3 pounds of meat. We have 2 pounds of, here, Mary. We have 2 pounds of ground pork and 1 pound of ground veal. Ground together twice. You got that? 2 pork, 1 veal, ground together twice. If you have a friend who's a butcher, he'll do that for you happily. It makes by grinding it twice together, it does 2 things. One, it makes the grind of meat fine, and it ensures that the veal and the pork are really beautifully incorporated, okay? So that's our base, okay? 2 pounds of pork, 1 pound of veal, ground together twice. Then, let's come over here. I've got 4 large eggs, and we're just going to give these a slight whisk. We're having, 12 or 13, I think, for Easter. And a lot of them, they've got good appetites, don't they, honey?
Yes, they do.
Okay. So, there's our 4 eggs. This is a 1.5 cups of cornflake crumbs. Now, you can do one of 2 things. They sell cornflake crumbs in the store, Kellogg's cornflake crumbs, or you can make your own if you got a box of cornflakes.
And you have a sister that will do it for you.
Exactly. And Marianne did these. You could put them in a bag and crush them with a rolling pin, or if you got a little food chopper, which we have, you can do that. So these are going to, here, Mary, these are going to go in. That's a 1.5 cups of cornflake crumbs, homemade. But like I said, you can buy them if you want. Onion soup, okay, just the dried onion soup mix, 1 envelope, okay. Then this is 2 medium onions. Marianne and I had a good cry, grated. Now you could use your food processor if you want. I just use a box grater on a plate. 2 grated onions, juice and all. So that's really fine. And then salt and pepper to taste. We're going to put a couple teaspoons of salt and a good teaspoon of pepper in here. And then finally, 3/4 cup of milk. All right. Then the best tools you can have. Pair of clean hands. And we just want to incorporate all this. I know it seems like there's a lot of liquid with the eggs and the milk, but you know what? This meat will soak it up. And so, with the, and of course the cornflake crumbs will also absorb some of that liquid, you know? You always want to be careful too when you're mixing meat for, meatloaf or meatballs. You don't want to overmix it because it will toughen up the meat. There's a big chunk of onion. I'm going to take that out. That happens sometimes in the grating process. You could leave it in, it wouldn't kill anybody. but it might be a little too much onion. So, but yeah, we had it ground twice so that the meat would be nice and fine. And you don't want, these are not dense meatballs. They're on the light side, which is what you want. So, okay, I think we've got everything mixed beautifully. I'm going to actually take this bag that the meat came in. Any kind of plastic food bag would be just fine. We're going to put this in there. Now then what we're going to do is we'll stick this in the fridge, like I said, till tomorrow. And then we'll start the next process, which is basically forming our meat into balls, browning it, and then baking it. What makes them Polish, besides Polish people making them?
Polish gravy.
Polish gravy. So of course we're going to have a mushroom gravy with this tomorrow, and it'll all come together. So we've done as much as we can. So here's Polish meatballs part 1. I'm going to get this bag sealed up and in the fridge, and then you know what? We'll see you back here tomorrow for the continuation. Happy Easter! Okay, hi everybody, it's Kevin.
And Marianne.
And it's day 2 of our Meatballs a la Polska, Holy Saturday actually. So, remember this? It's been in the fridge 24 hours. So, what we're going to do now is make meatballs out of our meat mixture. And you know, you can make these whatever size you want, but oh, you can smell the onions, and they're very light. So remember, we had the eggs and the milk and the cornflake crumbs and salt and pepper to the ground veal and ground pork. So it's really, we started with essentially 3 pounds of meat, 2 pounds pork, 1 pound veal. We should get about anywhere between 30 to 36 meatballs out of it. So you can see what size I'm doing it. What would you say, about golf ball maybe? So I'm going to finish rolling these, and then we're going to just put them in some seasoned flour, and then they're going to go into a fry pan and get browned. So I'll finish rolling our meatballs, and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, we are done rolling. You know what? I ended up with
48.
48 instead of 36. So they're not all the same size, but they're close to the same. But you know, I like it that way because the ones you buy in the store are all exact because they're spit out of a machine. This way, these are homemade and hand rolled, and so each one, but they're close. So we got 48. All right, here's what I got. We just got some regular all-purpose flour. We're going to put a little pepper in here, and we're going to put a little salt in here. Okay, and we're going to mix it around. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our meatballs and we're just going to roll them. That's all you have to do. So you can see there, one's might have a little pinch more than the next, but they are close to the same size. You know, if you really wanted to be exact, you could weigh them. You could use like a scoop, you know, like a cookie dough scoop. I know when we've done big productions of these, like for church dinners, and you really need things uniform so people don't complain if somebody got a bigger meatball than I did. I think we used to use the scoops. Okay, so we got our meatballs. Now we're going to come over here. Looks like our oil's ready. I've got maybe about 1/4 of an inch of oil here in our electric skillet. We always talk about how we love using our electric skillets, and this is another excellent use for them. We're not deep frying these, okay? We're just browning them. So I've got in, you know, just enough oil in here, and we'll come back we're going to turn these, get them nice and brown on both sides, and then we're going to transfer them to this roaster pan right here. Okay? So, we're flouring the meatballs, browning them, and then we get them right into the oven. Bless you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll be back in a few minutes. Aren't these beautiful? So we're browning them on both sides, and then transferring them to our roaster. So we got a few more to go, and then we'll be ready to put these in the oven. We're making Polish meatballs for Easter. Right, we're getting the last ones out here. Our meatballs. They are all brown. Here they are. Okay. Now, what we do now that they're in the roaster is we're going to add some water in here, gently, just enough to cover. Okay, can you get it, American? We're not going to be able to get the ones on top, but they'll be all right. You get the idea. Then, I got a beef bouillon cube here. I'm going to sprinkle that in. Then, we've got some mushrooms. And these are just white regular mushrooms. You can use whatever you want. This is a 8-ounce carton, already sliced. Now, the oven's preheated to 300 degrees. And these are going to bake now, let me get the lid, for an hour. Okay, so I'm going to put our lid on here. It's going to go in for an hour. And then we'll come back and make the gravy up that will go over the mushrooms. Okay, so the meatballs have been in for an hour. Let's turn the oven off, Mare, and let's... Oh, they smell so good. Let's bring it over here. Okay. So, now here's what we're going to do. How's that? Now you see all that juice in there? So now what we're going to do is I've got a saucepan here with 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup. Okay? And what we're going to do, if I can, without making a big mess, is... hey, Dad?
Yeah.
We're going to get some... This is really a 2-person job.
What do we need, son?
So, we're gonna pour the juice here. You hold back the meatballs. Mare, can you get that in?
Yeah.
All right. You just, that's it. So what we're doing is we're taking that water that we put in before we bake the meatballs. Remember we threw in a bouillon cube and I put the mushrooms in. And so this has got all the, whoop, we lost one. Pull that out, Dad.
No problem. Got it.
All right, let's see if, whoop. Okay, good enough. So fish out those 2 meatballs. Just the meatballs.
Yeah, that's a fat there.
Okay. Now,
So you do anything else?
no. So now we're going to take this over here, Mare. Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome.
And what we're going to do is we're going to just bring this up to heat. Got a little Percy Fig action going on here. So we're going to, this is our gravy. So what we want to do is we just want to whisk this together till it's smooth. And of course, it thickens up once we get it all incorporated here. If If you need to, I put the heat on the stove, but there. We will give it a little taste. It's usually okay on salt. Sometimes it needs a little. I'm going to give it just a little shot of pepper. Okay. Now we're going to take it and we're going to pour it over our meatballs. There we go. There's our mushroom gravy. Okay, isn't that beautiful? Now you serve this over noodles or with mashed potatoes or however you want to, and it's beautiful. So there they are. One last shot. Polish meatballs with mushroom gravy. So you won't see this till Happy Easter, but Happy Easter anyways. Hope yours is great. Thanks for being a part of this one. We'll see you next time. Bye.